Everybody, and welcome to Monday's Live here with Lori in the Launch It with Lori Joy live group. Woo! Say that 5 times fast. So great to be here today. So great to have you. If you're catching this live, say hello. Let me know who's here with me so I can answer any questions you have about today's topic. That's the beauty of being here live, is getting free coaching. And if you're catching the replay and you have any questions, just hashtag replay and let me know that you're here. Today's topic. Let's get right into this because I want to show you some things that you can start today in order to change either this mindset or this process. So, launching can be very stressful, right? So, we want to take the headaches, we want to take the stress out of launching. And I'm going to show you 3 things about launching that you can do that can alleviate that stress. So, who's here with me? Say hello in the comments. Let me know if you have launched before. So if you're here and you're watching either the live or the replay, I want you to tell me if you have put your stuff out to the world before, or if launching is something relatively new to you. All right. So if you can let me know in the comments and I can keep up with you. Now, what is launching? Let's clarify a few things. Let's talk about some mindset around launching, and then let's get into some tactics that you can actually learn and use today. Okay. So, launching is literally just putting your business out there, right? It's just putting your business out there and letting the world know what it is that you specialize in, what it is that you do, and who it is that you can help. So, good morning, Mary Beth. This is going to be your first launch. This is a beautiful thing. I think that you are one of the smartest people on the planet because using a boot camp to do a launch is going to prevent you from a lot of headaches. I've done all different kinds of launches over my 8 years in business. And so I want to alleviate those headaches for you. So you are in the right space. You, like I said, smartest woman on the planet. Now, what happens is we have to start to think, what does a launch mean for me? Now, in the online space, launching comes with its own vernacular. It comes with its own set of stressors. It comes with almost this alleviated kind of plan that you're known or you should be doing if you're an online entrepreneur. And I just want to call bullshit on all of the things that you ever learned about a launch and just set the record straight here today. Okay? You define what your launch looks like because it is your business. And that's the beautiful thing. We don't have to do a launch, right? The way that the gurus are doing it. A boot camp is the simplest, beautiful way to be evolving with your launch, to be going live with your people, which is what you want. You want to be talking. I want to be talking to, Mary Beth, and I want to be talking to you about your business and launching and any stresses or fears that you have. I want to be talking to you on the replay if you're here. And when you're doing a boot camp and you're going live, there are so many benefits to it, right? That could be a whole other topic, right? But here's what's going to happen. You get to define what your launch looks like for you. So, is it going to be an email launch? Is it going to be a podcast launch if you have a podcast? Are you a blogger, right? Are you someone who does videos or lives? Do you do Instagram stories? You decide. Now, of course, I'm going to try to convince you that going live in a Facebook group is easy because one, everybody knows how to use Facebook. If they are on Facebook, they don't have to learn or go to a different platform that they're not sure how to use, right? So what happens is that when you are using a boot camp and you're using Facebook as your platform, it's a beautiful kind of connection with your people. It's not a segregation. It's something that's live and it's something that's very personable as we can get right now, right? And we talk about this. When I show you how to set up and plan out your boot camp, we talk about this. Okay, so launches don't have to be scary, okay? you have to think about, instead of you putting yourself out there and being fearful of judgment, of, um, you know, people saying things out loud about us, or behind our backs, or even to our faces, right? That's happened to me. All of those scenarios have happened. And I'm sure the more that you put out your boot camp, and the more that you put yourself out into a bold space, you're going to have people who say things, but you have to be like Teflon, right? So 23 years of teaching junior high and high school and university students, you develop a thick skin. And that's what I need you to do, to start to think not about you and your fears, but about making this world a better place, right? When people have the tools that you have in your skill set, you are going and changing the world one person at a time. That is a magnificent thing. So I want you to reverse engineer that thinking. And I want you to think, I am not fearful of what people are going to say. I am not fearful of judgment. Okay, you may be, but it can't stop you. Because if you don't step into 2021 with the mindset that you can go forward and change and make this world a better place, then why are you doing your own business? You can't do your own business and hide behind automation, hide behind emails, hide behind Pinterest, pretty Pinterest posts. I want to encourage you to get out there, to be live, and to step out of that fear. When you step out of that fear, every time you do it, it will get easier, and you step into growth, right? That is where we grow. We grow when we step into our fears and out of our comfort zone. And if you want your people to do that, if you want your ideal clients to step up and take your signature program, or take your offer, your physical offer, take your products and do something and change and be bold, then you have to model that yourself. You have to be the one that is saying, follow my lead, right? So in doing so, you're out there and you're modeling to people how to be bold, how to be brave, how to make their life better. And you are being the one that's going to change their life with your skill set, right? Because everybody has a unique skill. Everybody has a unique skill. I promise you I'm getting to these 3 points in a second. But I really want us to think about putting ourselves out there, right? You all have something that comes very easily to you, right? So Mary Beth, what is the thing that comes very easily to you? What is your skill set? And I want you to think about your strengths, and I want you to think about what you can how you can turn those strengths around and offer them to the world, right? What do you have a passion for, right? What lights you up? What chokes you up? What gets you out of bed in the morning with a skip in your step and ready for the day, right? What? And then I want you to think about what's your superpower. So, what's your unique skill set? What do you have a passion for? And what's your superpower, right? So, if you can put those in the comments and start to think about them and flush these out, there are 7 billion people, right, on Facebook. You can find 5, 10, 20, 50, 90, a couple of hundred people and change their lives, right? But you want to delve into your strengths, model for them that you are the expert, and launching is the way to do that. If we don't put ourselves out in front of 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, right? We all start small for a reason. Then no one's going to know what we do. You're going to have regret, and people aren't going to have the changes that they need. So with your skill set, your superpower, your passion, what can you do to change the world? And I'm not being facetious with that statement. I'm really saying to you, because what happens is we have a ripple effect. You think about this, okay? We have one person that comes into our lives and into our teaching and into our realm and into our corner of the internet and into our signature programs or our physical offers. And that person evolves. They change, right? they develop, they grow. With your help, you're the expert. And then what happens is people notice that person changing and they'll be saying, so and so, what have you been doing? And that your client will be like, well, I've been working with Mary Beth and she has changed the way I see trauma and the way I see, how I'm setting myself up as the victim, right? Good morning, Ruheen. Or people will say, what have you been doing? And you say, well, I've been working with Ruheen. And she set up my ManyChat bot and she revolutionized my business. So when people start to talk, and it only starts with one person, the ripple effect starts to duplicate, right? You throw a stone in the water and the ripple, it's far reaching. Same thing with you. When you launch and you put yourself out there and you say proudly, boldly, and bravely to the world, this is what I do, this is who I help, you start to change the world. So I'm not being facetious with that line. I am literally telling you that you will start with one person. Every guru, right? Every master was once a disaster, right? So everybody has always started on the same level, from having no one to coach and help to getting one person, to getting no one to coach and help to one person to 2 to 10 to 20. And you know what it was? You know what led that person to helping multiple people? Consistency in launching. Consistency in launching, right? Right. Ruheen says marketing strategies, right? She helps business reach their ideal audience, scale their business, and make more money. And it's true, right? When I thought of introducing a ManyChat bot, a messenger notification bot, which most of you are signed up to, and if you're not, you can do that. And you can implement it into your business as well, right? What's going to happen is it's going to change the realm of your business. Now, that's not my expertise, so I go to someone who has that expertise, right? Now, I could have fought through it and tried to figure it out, but there's no sense in that. So you as a business owner know that you have a skill set, a passion, right? A strength, and you work from that. And then you start to bring in other people as you launch and as your launches grow to help you better the experience for your people. Okay, I still have not gotten to my 3 points. I am getting there. But mindset is so key because launching can do for your business amazing things, or it can keep you stuck. And remember, we'll get to define launching and how we want it to be. So the first kind of tip that I want to give you for taking the headaches out of launching is don't wait till it's perfect. If you sit stuck in the mud of thought and wait until your launch is perfect, you will be waiting for how long? 6 weeks? 3 months? 6 months? And the longer you wait, what happens? The more fearful you become. The more fearful you become, the longer you wait. Do you see that cyclical bad cycle of psychology there? If you wait till it is perfect, till you have a lot of people to launch, I've heard this. I don't want to launch because I don't have a lot of people. That's bullshit. You have to just step forward and go with what you have, right? You want to evolve your launch as you go. That's the beautiful thing about doing it with boot camps. So you can ask people at the front end questions coming into your Facebook group. What do you want to learn? What's one thing you want to learn in this 5-day boot camp that you run? And somebody might actually say something that you hadn't even thought of, right? You're the expert. Sometimes our thought level is up here with our expertise, but someone coming in at the beginner level might have a different way of looking at things. They may need something that we've just overlooked. So when you ask people what it is that you want to learn, they tell you and you deliver. There's no guessing about what people want. There's no, making massive amounts of work for yourself before people even sign up and say that that's something that they actually want, right? It's a beautiful process just to have imperfect action, go forward, and take the headache out and just go with the flow. Now, some of us might be very nervous to do that, right? But when, if you are joining my training, I'm going to do a boot camp in January again, and then we're going to talk about how you flesh out your boot camp, how you teach your content, how you find that content, how you deliver it, right? How do you build the back end of your boot camp? All of these things, right? But what I'm asking you for right now is you could actually do a little launch before the end of the year. Your launches don't have to be convoluted. They don't have to be video edited. They don't have to be lengthy. They could be 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, right? Your boot camps can be anything you want because you define them, because it's your business. So don't wait till it's perfect. I want you to take bold action, because we just talked about that. And I want you to get out there, and I want you to put out into the world what you do. Because if people don't know what you do, they can't hire you to help them. The second thing is I want you to do is I want you to start small. Start small and start organic. When I first started 8 years ago, I started with 17 ladies. And from 17 ladies, things grew and grew and grew. Now, could you imagine if I put it out there and said, okay, ladies, I have this and I'm going to offer this to you. And then I was like, oh, 17 is not enough. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till I get more people. No, you can't do that, right? You start small and you start organic. Now, there's a number of reasons why we get into this bogus numbers, this bogus metrics mindset. I talk about this during the boot camp. And it's infuriating and frustrating when people think, I want hundreds and hundreds of people to come to my boot camp. And I'll be honest with you, I've been part of that mindset before as well. Here's the thing. Take where you are in your business right now. And if I were to dump, say, 100 people into your business right now, do you have the systems in place to support them? Some of us don't. What if I were to say, here's 500 people here, they want to coach with you today, let's go. Do you have the frameworks and everything in the back end to support that number of people? When you are starting, no, right? It's like a brand new teacher, okay? So I've been doing this teaching gig for a long time, and I teach at the university kids who want to be teachers. And I say to them, right, stay one chapter ahead of your kids. You don't have to go into, teaching grade 12 English and know the entire curriculum from, September to June before your kids walk in the door. It's not true. You stay one step ahead of your students. You stay one step ahead of your clients. And you beautifully build it out with them, live if you have to for the first time. Make the mistakes. Be transparent with them. Tell them this is what you're doing. Let them see that you're human. You care about the results. You want them to be interacting with you, telling you where they're tripped up or what is working for them so that you can go and make your business better as you go. It's an exciting thing. It really is. So you don't want to start really with hundreds and hundreds of people because you don't have the framework to support them, right? If it's just you and you haven't hired your team yet, and I dumped 200 people in your lab today, you're overwhelmed. So start small and organic. Love the small and organic group. It's more personalized. You get to know their business. They become lifelong fans. They become true buyers, and they stay with you as you, right, lead them up your ascension rank for your business. Ruheen says, helping businesses reach their ideal audience, scare their, okay, sorry, I already read that. Imperfect action is always the best. Yeah, Mary Beth says, helping people get unstuck and move forward toward joy. Oh, yes, so I asked you, what is your superpower? Exactly. And sometimes we are the best people, right, to show that because it's something that we have done. Now, everybody sometimes thinks, oh, I'm going to teach online. I have to have, degrees, or I have to have some sort of coaching, depending on what you're getting into, will depend on that. But like, if you know how to get someone unstuck and find joy, if you know how to set them up with a many chat bots right in their business, if I know how to show you how to run a kick-ass boot camp, I'm going to come here and show you. We have to. It's our due diligence, right? Okay, the third thing that can help you keep the headache out of launches is create as you go. Now, your launch, because it's your business and you decide on the time frame and the comfortability and how you're going to run it, but especially when you're doing boot camps, you can create your launch and even your signature program as you go, right? This is a beautiful thing. I don't know if any of you in here watching the live, Ruheen or Mary Beth, or watching the replay have ever created a program and done all the videos and done all the PDFs that go with it and put it into like Kajabi or your membership site. And then you go to put it out in the world and there's crickets. No one's buying. And you have sat in the weeds getting ready, right? You hold yourself up into your office getting ready instead of creating as you go. It goes back to the last point where I said staying one step ahead of your clients. And the wonderful thing is then as you do that, as you create your launch as you go, you can see where your clients are tripping up, where they're having problems, where they're having difficulties. And you might have to actually change what you're going to do in your launch and come back and repeat that process or enhance that teaching in order to clarify. As a teacher, when I stand in front of a classroom and I give instructions, okay, and a number of hands go up and they're like, Miss, I have a question, I have a question, I have a question, I have a question. I listen to their questions. I say, okay, put your hands down. That was my bad. I did not explain that well enough. Let me break this down for you again. And I take their feedback and I explain the process again. That's what you are going to do. When people are writing, and you're going to see it in your bootcamp, when people are writing in the comments, I'm really stuck, I don't get this, you have to help them flush that out. That's why we do little snippets each day. That's why we teach them something small each day, so not to overwhelm. But the wonderful thing is that you can have an outline, like an idea of what you want to do in your bootcamp, but sometimes your people will dictate what you teach. Does that make sense? They will dictate what you teach, and you might have to transform or come around or reteach a lesson. Okay, I have to tell you something super funny story. Every year I take a student teacher from the university, right? Because I teach there. So I'm very open to someone coming into my class, making mistakes and learning from myself and my students. And so I had this young girl come in and she taught a lesson and it looked beautiful on paper, right? Okay, so you might plan out your boot camp and it looks beautiful on paper, right? And then you might go to teach it and it's a gong show, right? It's a gong show. And that's what happened. And I sat back and, I didn't interject and I let it happen. I let it unfold. I let her sweat. I let, my kids do what they do, right? When kids smell fear, they pounce, right? Not to set her up for failure, but set her up for that learning process. And then we sat back at the end of the day. We had a couple of laughs about it. I said, don't worry about it. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. I know you don't expect me to be perfect. And so what happens is I said, you're going to teach the lesson again tomorrow. And she was like, it's the same stuff. The kids will know. I'm like, they won't know. I said, they're clueless. No, they won't know. I said, you're going to make all the amendments to what you did, and you're going to go back out there tomorrow and you are going to teach them the same lesson again. And she did. And it was much better. So what may happen is you might say, okay, on the first day of my boot camp, on the first day of my launch, this is what I have planned. And then the 5th, you might actually have all of the days planned, but I want you to be really receptive to your people. And that's the beautiful thing about doing a live launch is you create as you go, and you listen to your people and you serve them at that highest possible level, right? Like I have an outline of what I'm going to share with you today, but if you put something in here that you really wanted to talk about, then we would talk about it. So Mary Beth, you've been waiting for 3 years. My goodness, girl, no more. No more. 2021 is going to be the year where you do all of these things. You tap into your skill set. You tap into your strength. You don't wait until it's perfect. You start small and organic, and you create as you go. And it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be, you know, I joke about the James Wedmore launches where, you know, he's got the video in the drone and he's driving a DeLorean. Like, I'm not there, right? We're not there, and that's okay. And maybe one day you will be, but for right now, you flip on your Facebook Live and you do these 3 things. You don't wait until it's perfect. You start small and organic, and you create as you go. And it alleviates a lot of stressors. It alleviates a lot of fears. It alleviates you waiting and waiting and waiting, because it's a sustainable and reusable plan that you can do many times over the year, right? 2021, you can launch as much as you want, right? And in my program, I show you and I teach you how to do that. But for right now, I want you just to just kind of maybe settle into the thought that 2021 is where you're going to launch, when you're going to launch, and to whom you're going to launch. You know, we have to start telling the people what we're doing. We have to start attracting those ideal clients, bringing them in, and helping them with your superpower. All right? It's so exciting, ladies. It's so exciting. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about today, about the headaches of launching and what you can do or where you're looking to go, then let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget, every Monday at noon, I will be here going live with you. And so in the comments, I will put the link to sign up for the notification, because we're all busy, right? And so I love it when I get that little notification 10 minutes before I'm going live, and then you can join in here and jump in and join me. If you know anybody who needs these kind of trainings for their top or for their business, invite them in, right? The more the merrier. Thank you so much for being here live, ladies. I can't wait to see you next week. Until then, have a Make an Impact Monday. Go out there and make a difference. We'll see you soon.